Nice stick, buddy.
It's a big stick, baby.
Firewood?
Nice stick.
That's a mighty big stick.
Oh yeah, I think he does it for the attention.
You know, that's fair to me. If I could find a stick that good, I would also show it off to get attention. You know, that dog actually conveys pretty well how I felt the entire time that I've been browsing r/sticks. It's kind of a universal human experience that when you find a good stick in the wild, you have to seize the moment and seize that stick. You have to take that blessed piece of wood for the preservation of our history. And for the convenience of all stick enthusiasts, this subreddit is dedicated to nurturing and preserving our culture. Hi again, Stick Nation, as we call ourselves. Every now and then a stick goes viral on Twitter that everybody agrees is just really good, but I've been fiending to see a bunch of good ones, just straight jonesing. And when I found this subreddit, it was exactly what I needed. So let's take a look at some sticks, rate them, give our thoughts, the whole shebang. If you enjoy this video, this card at the end will take you to the time I covered a subreddit where the only thing they do is lie and eat hot chip, r/lies. And did you know only 20% of y'all are subscribed with notifications on? If you sub and hit the bell icon, you'll never miss an upload, and you can always undo it later. Something most men can only dream of. Oh, wow. Very rarely will a stick not be found by a person, but the stick itself will choose the person it gives itself over to. There is something special, just an indescribable quality about the guy who caught this. He was chosen. I don't know the criteria of the decision, but there's no force of chance that could have caused this to happen as coincidence. The thing is, I said that most sticks get found by people, but some would argue that there is no such thing as that, where it is the case for all sticks, where every stick will pick the person who it will go with. The stick that just randomly got caught in the air by this guy just happens to be particularly dramatic about how it shows itself to its chosen champion. It's like, nah, you ain't gonna find me laying down on some forest floor like the rest of these twigs. I'm gonna come at you. This guy found a Covenant carbine, and yes, that is how you pronounce that word. Look it up if you don't trust me. But my personal alternative read is that it is the Soul Calibur sword from Soul Calibur 4 specifically. My friends made fun of me for being short even back then. It's never stopped. And in the same strategy that carried me throughout my adulthood, I decided to own that title by always picking Yoda. If you don't know, he was shorter than all the characters in the game, and most enemies' attacks would go right over that green troll's head. Meanwhile, I'd just be down there slashing at their knees while they try to figure out how to even hit my hitbox. Not gonna lie though, the woodland camo, just the real grainy, naturalistic feel to this thing, would be a sick camo to put on a gun in Call of Duty. Like, just look at the cum stains near the what would be trigger on this baby. I'm just saying, this entire texture would go bananas on a scar. I don't want fine wood grain. I want that choppy, natural in nature shit. This stick is more than 100 years old. It was used by my late grandfather back when he had a mattress making factory, and the workers had this stick to beat the shit out of the materials they used back in the day. That's a sturdy ass stick, man. Survived whacking shit for a century. My built-in stick just cannot compare. It starts scabbing after just 20 minutes of beating. And you'll notice that this is probably a crafted stick. It was made out of wood for a specific purpose. It didn't just come out of nature as is. And to some of y'all, that might disqualify it from the subject of this video, but I think there's a variety of reasons that sticks are special on this subreddit. Some of them are just incredible creations of nature that are beautiful to behold. And some, like this one, have storied histories and get passed down like family heirlooms to the next person who is meant to hold it. And others, like this next one, are just genuine triumphs of human engineering. I have no idea where you even start with the building process of this goddamn thing. Some people in the comments on both Reddit and on YouTube were saying that this shot that broke the mug was fake. The bullet didn't actually come from the bamboo sniper. But that's the thing, the guy who made this bamboo idea is just that, the ideas guy. It's a proof of concept, man. Are you gonna be mad at the guy who's making all the concept art for Marvel movies? It's supposed to inspire you and encourage creativity in the next guy who watches it. And listen, I don't even really need it to shoot. I've seen him open the barrel and him stick a bullet inside. He didn't fake that. And y'all know I care about satisfying reload capabilities as much, if not more, than something's actual ability to shoot. Half my stim toys are just various guns that are fake. That's most of them, actually. I have like 4 different ones. I think I have 2 normal stim toys, and I don't use them as much as my Colt 1911 Evike replica. So yeah, basically, this bamboo sniper is perfect to me. Stop being mean to them. Now, there are some things in the subreddit that are not exactly sticks, but they come from the same place. Trees. And in particular, particular, these things look like hearts. It's literally a taproot that you ripped right out of the chest of a Skyrim Spriggan who is still using it. Don't you know it's rude to tear a beating heart out of a man's chest? The same applies to treat people. You wouldn't do that to Groot. Man really does have an instinct to take anything it sees looks cool to have it as their own. Like, sure, we see cool thing and we want cool thing, so we take. We're not so different from crows and shiny stuff in that regard, but removing these beating hearts of wood from forests is very dangerous. It's like a time gear in Pokemon Mystery Dungeon that keeps time flowing in an area until you remove it. When you take this out of a forest, congrats. Everything in that forest will now start dying. You have now just added 3 new species to the extinct list. Oh, and what's that? You've continued man's legacy of destroying the natural world wherever we go. You know what I would think if I did that? Still worth it. Look at this stick I got. This is a stick collection that looks like it's from a modern art piece from @IamRolandex on Twitter. I love how this dude has an obvious preference of the type of stick he wants. He wants a stick that looked like stick, as in a gun. As Kenny Mason once said, stick! 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 I'm willing to bet this guy has a gun collection that is as impressive and as big as his stick wall. Might have been easier getting his hands on the real guns than all of these sticks, to be honest. Like, he's got sniper rifles in here, handguns, assault rifles, SMGs. I really like the second picture where it's him at an angle hanging one of the sticks up on the wall because it just looks so much less sterile. It reminds me a lot of the armory in that one Modern Warfare 2 mission, the 2009 one, not the new one. Or alternatively, JFK's stash in the Pentagon in COD Zombies. Sokka's Water Tribe Club.
What's up, Stick Nation? Found this magic stick infused with fire volcanic rock. I'd say rarity, epic, loot location, Azores, Portugal.
Okay, that is a really cool one. 10 out of 10 would beat someone to death with this. I just wonder how secure that volcanic rock is inside its little notch. The homie who posted this, Phil Longboard, said he found it with the rock already inside there, and I believe him. I'm just wondering if 3 months later that's still the case. Has it been able to hold the perch it gained by crawling up inside that club's cooter? Very nice shape on that rock too. It can't be denied that there is a similar fascination with nicely shaped rocks. Runk. Holy shit. This is a perfect corkscrew shape to me. It kind of shows that a lot of shapes man uses in the tools to create things, nature has already created through the sheer unstoppable power of coincidence. We were the cool guys with big brains who came along and decided to make that shape into metal for the explicit purpose of violating the wood that the shape originally came from and putting holes into it. I was searching this subreddit by top of all time, and when I first saw this stick, I thought it was going to be an incredibly rare find. Like, I have never seen a shape, especially a corkscrew, that perfect in nature. Literally an Uzumaki spiral. Pretty sure Uzumaki is just Japanese for spiral, so I'm saying spiral. But the thing is, it is genuinely insane how many corkscrew sticks there are on this subreddit. This guy has one that is shaped perfectly like a staff. Like, you can walk with it, definitely cast spells with it. This other dude found a stick that looks like Mirak's sword with vines just crawling up the blade like an infection. It doesn't have an eye looking at you on it, but it does have a perfect notch at the bottom to serve as a handle. That way you don't cut yourself on the blade. And this grandpa turned a spirally stick he had into a sick-ass lamp. There are many more I could go on and on about. I am just surprised how wide of a genre the stick shaped like a duck's penis is. You can look that up if you want to regret looking something up. The Trim Reaper, dude. That sounds like something you'd call a barber who recently fucked your shit up. But the guy who posted it said, it was a little heavy. My triceps hurt. Imagine if you're that dude who's on TikTok training every day to wield Cloud's Buster Sword properly. With his muscle, by the time he's done training, you would definitely be able to swing this gigantic stick around. Imagine the amount of crops you could farm with one swing of this thing. I would have killed to have this thing in the tall grass when playing Pokemon games when I was younger. A fun fact that you might not have known, in some of the Pokemon games, HM Cut could actually cut the tall grass. If you didn't know that, have fun rethinking your entire life. I hope I have successfully made you spiral, like the sticks in the last post. Nice callback, Kwite. Great one. Oh, this one's for the boys. Ugh. You say that, but this is one of those things that makes me remember that I ain't a boy. Like, figuratively, you know, I'm your boy, you know that? But yeah, any pronouns. I stopped being bald and have blue hair now. I'm woke. It's just not right, though. First, Mewtwo, a fictional character, then this random fursuit I saw on Twitter, and only because of the shape, not because it's a furry, and now a fucking tree are giving me gender envy? Body goals, I fucking guess. Jesus, man, what's going on with me? I just get jealous over anything vaguely curvy these days. It's not going well. This tree isn't even capable of mentally processing that it has something I want really badly.
This is a stick that stays by my bed every single night. I live deep in the jungle, and so this is my home defense system. I love this stick because it's lightweight, but also strong. One swing, and you see all those spikes going by the face of your enemy, like Babe Ruth.
Huh. Damn, so Negan's baseball bat just spawns naturally in the wild? It's good to know that they're out there, but geez, even the handle on this thing is even perfectly smooth at the bottom so you can comfortably grip it. I guess that could be a modification, but there is a small comfort I take in knowing that it's this guy specifically who's the one wielding this monstrosity. He seems like a good-natured guy, funny nature. But did you see the twirl that motherfucker did on that stick? He's not joking around about having to use it to defend his home. He's probably scared off wild coyotes by giving them blunt force trauma. Just a little three-piece whack. You could probably catch him practicing katas with that thing in the middle of a forest clearing, with sun beaming down on him in an incredibly picturesque way. Am I fantasizing about a stranger again? I should stop that. Y'all should stop doing that about me, too. You only really need this stick to fold in 40 different ways, and you got a great candidate for a bloodborne trick weapon. Oh, wow. This stick is not only impressive, but the fact that this guy managed to bring it home intact is even more insane to me. There is some real technique to getting sticks home, especially if the stick is particularly brittle. Thanks, though, to the boundless ability of human determination, this guy made it happen. This thing is long and seems like it's very fragile, like I said, brittle. So if you pick it up on your own, even if it's by the middle, you risk it collapsing under its own weight, but dragging it along the ground until you get it back home where it's protected from the elements might still break it, because it could easily get snagged on something. The safest way to do this would be to make it a multi-man job, where you have a person at each end and some guy in the middle, or maybe several people in the middle, depending on how long it is, lifting it up simultaneously so not any single part of the stick is having too much weight borne on top of it. Gravity's a dickhead. You need the coordination those Amish guys who are deadlifting a barn to move it somewhere else had. I am the stick, Jesus. Role players, kinnies, ugh. This is getting ridiculous. They let you identify as anything nowadays. This is probably how Henry Cavill felt standing in Times Square next to an ad of Batman v Superman. He was big on how nobody recognized him when he was doing that. The difference is this guy looks like he's about to go to a masquerade party with the wackiest looking outfit there. And by that, I mean he's gonna whack whoever he's talking to in the face whenever he turns his head even a little bit to look around at all the other costumes. Don't know why you'd even bother at that point, because they're all gonna be worse than yours. We found this in the middle of the city. Jesus Christ, that's a rare drop. It's not gonna be the craziest stick we see all day by any means, but finding something of this quality in the concrete jungle instead of a wooded one is like how pumpkins are technically rarer than diamonds in Minecraft. The real benefit of this thing is the built-in aura that comes from it. It doesn't have an insane shape, but it's great for photo ops, man. This silhouette is picture perfect. It looks straight out of a Kurosawa film. I've never seen a Kurosawa film.
Hey, Stick Nation. This is the guava tree me and my cousin climbed when we were 15 years old. And then we flattened the bottom bit out and then put a handle on it. And then this is a guava tree, so it's really nice and strong.
I am convinced that all of human infrastructure could be replaced by stick-based equivalents. We're talking transportation, every building ever, plates, computers even. Give me an ounce of fentanyl in a week and I will convince wood to conduct electricity whether it likes it or not. I just find the story this dude told about his stick scooter particularly cool and touching. The homie found a stick when he was 15 and he held on to it for years. And then finally he got to turn it into his literal daily driver. It was like the first sign of him becoming a dad. His initial instinct of keeping some random shit for ages like a dad does, only for it to finally come in handy for a very specific scenario over a decade later. Holy shit. Vaguely square-shaped stick? You know, compared to some of what we've seen today, this probably doesn't look like anything that special, but you could not be more wrong. Do you understand how rare anything that's kinda shaped like a square is in nature? Perfect representations of mathematical concepts do not exist naturally, and we're really lucky to be seeing this. Usually only geologists get the rocks off seeing rocks that are cubed, the only ones who have this niche fulfilled in their personal interests. So getting a fully enclosed, interconnected stick like this in the shape of a square, no less, is unheard of. Most people ahead of the advent of pictures and the ability to share them digitally would never have seen something like this in their lives. You exist in the most advanced time anyone's ever lived. They seemed too confident about that stick coming back to them that they had to have been able to do this before they started recording. That means they were able to reproduce results. Can't be a coincidence. That guy can actually just summon it back to his hand like that. They managed to get the perfect video with this too. Just an incredible view with the breeze by the sea. It created the ideal opportunity to karma farm on a really, really niche subreddit that nobody else they talk to will know anything about. But I do, and it matters to me that I got to experience this. Oh shit, you guys gotta check this out. It's a walking stick. It even got the custom flare sassy stick. God, I love pareidolia. Just people ascribing sass and meaning to random shit they see in the wild. That said, if you don't agree with the descriptor of sassy, there is an undeniable amount of whimsy to this tree's gait? I don't know. Like, what are you so damn happy for, you fucking punk? If he was actually walking, he would hit like a top speed of double whatever you can clock because of how gay he is. Look at him, the little queer! I saw this stick outside someone's house. Okay, this is disappointing. We almost managed to go the whole video without seeing a single post that just didn't fit the theme of the subreddit at all. What do you mean you found a stick? That's clearly a man. 2 legs, a mustache. What else is there for a person to have? There's nothing other than that. I mean, given I'm not an expert on the human form, considering I am not one of those, but his ass is definitely listening to music, so I bet he has ears. And you're still gonna tell me that it's a stick? It's kind of rude. Lastly, we got this one, which is also one of the top on the subreddit. Very cool. I could make so many comparisons here. Like, I got sea urchin, spiky, eldritch mass. My favorite would just be the plasma cutter from Dead Space. I was almost gonna go with saying it looked like the drone enemies in Halo Combat Evolved, but I decided that I like plasma cutter more because those drones were the fucking bane of my existence. Oh, they got me angry now. They've sapped all the joy out of this topic for me. So I'm gonna wrap this video up here. That card I mentioned should be on screen. If you guys enjoyed, be sure to drop a like and subscribe with notifications on. Anyways, this has been Kwite, and I will see you, stick.